Hi, I'm John. This video highlights my one-year journey to complete an owner build of a beautiful mountain cabin from start to finish. The site I selected is in the Blue Ridge Mountains of Northeast Georgia. It is a 2-acre wooded lot with sloping topography. There is a view from the site to the south. The goal with the design is to complete a high-end and high-performance cabin with modern architecture. To ensure energy efficiency, strength, and low maintenance, the cabin will be built out of ICF. The floor plan includes 2 bedrooms and 2 baths with an open concept living area. The interior will contain high ceilings with finished concrete floors and modern finishes. The southern facing side of the cabin incorporates large windows and 3 slider doors that access a 600 square foot wraparound deck. The unique architecture will include a standing seam metal roof that transitions down the front wall and a celebrated modern entryway. In this project, I acted as my own general contractor, in which I managed all aspects of design, permitting, and construction. This is the entrance to the driveway that was cut a couple weeks ago. You can see it entering this road. So we're going to go ahead and walk into the site. So this is the driveway. We got about 15 feet or so of width. You can see they've put a little bit of gravel down. Eventually we'll get the rest of it gravelled after the foundation is put in. So there's the excavator. Put in the septic tank last week, which you can see there, the fittings, those red sticks are where the tank sits. A lot has changed here in the last couple weeks. This site was nothing but a hill with a lot of trees, and now you can see there's a driveway and a building site over here that's staked. So what we have is a foundation that will measure approximately 60 by 19 feet. We're going to have to do a stem wall that's going to be about 8 feet tall along downslope side of the house. It'll be about 1 foot off the driveway there. We're going to backfill it with gravel, and we're going to pour a slab on top. Alright, so foundation work starts today. It's a rainy day, we probably won't get very far, but digging some footings for the foundation, which is 60 by 19 feet. There's also a through wall that will be put in there about 8 feet in. So we got foundation roughing and footing roughing that's going in right now.
Cans for the floor. We just go ahead and put them back on 3 sides, leave that open. Not all the way up.
Not all the way up. Just a little. One knock. Yeah. One knock.
So we got the forms for the foundation in, and inside that the rebar is all tied. We're looking at getting these poured in the next couple days, and once that's accomplished, we're going to backfill this with gravel, and we're looking at approximately 200 tons of gravel backfill material that will go into that foundation. So this is the outside stem wall. We got this at approximately 6 feet from where you see the footing there to the top. And this area is going to be where the deck will be, and that will sit about 8 feet out the back, which will allow us to capture those views that are out there. So the concrete truck and pump has arrived. We're gonna pump approximately 22 yards to form the foundation walls. So they've set some piers in place, and those piers will serve the slab as a little extra support. So we ordered 22 yards of concrete, and we're putting the leftover down there by the stem wall up against the footer. This will actually serve as a nice base to allow the water to drain from the base of the foundation. So we got the final pour done for the foundation walls today. This is what it looks like. We're going to get a lot of sun today, so should cure the concrete, and tomorrow morning they'll be able to pull the forms off, and we'll see what the finished product looks like. As you can see, everything came out pretty good. This foundation measures 19 by 60 feet, so just under 1,200 square feet. And you can see, again, it's built into the side of a slope. So we're going to have to backfill quite a bit of gravel into the downslope stem wall side there, which is about 6 feet deep. The walls themselves are 10 inches, and that's consistent throughout the foundation. And you can see over on the other side there's a through wall, which is also 10 inches. That's going to support the master bedroom side of the cabin, which will be built out of ICF. And then there will be an outdoor area for a hot tub and storage shed on that side. So this morning we are backfilling the foundation with gravel. The downslope side is about 6 feet deep, and we're filling that in with, remember, 4 gravel, which is approximately 1.5 inches as far as an aggregate. And as we get towards the top, we're going to fill it up with a 57 gravel, which is about 1/2 inch to an inch. This gravel is getting compacted with the excavator, and we are just working up in layers, and we're about 6 truckloads in, and we're looking at probably another 10 truckloads to get this all filled up today. So I just had 2 trucks come and dump this gravel. Each truck carries about 16 tons of this stuff. And when you look at the foundation that we have here, we're looking at least 10 trucks to backfill that. So that's a lot of material that we're moving into that. We'll also be spreading that to create a gravel base for the driveway, which will kind of come around the backside of the foundation, which you see over here. So the gravel is about 3 feet up the foundation stem wall. So there's about another 3 feet there that we got to fill on that downslope side there. You can see there's probably about 18 inches or so up on the top side. So a lot of gravel. You can see the piles there. And that is number 57 gravel, which we're using as top surface. So this is the finished job for the gravel backfill. And again, we estimated 200 tons of gravel for this job. And what we ended up with was 197. So we did a pretty good job estimating the total amount. And we were able to add a little bit of gravel there to the driveway. So the next step of this construction project will be to complete the rough ends. We have 2 steps. The first will be to lay some electrical conduit, and we have approximately 30 feet of conduit that will be used as a floor outlet and also serve a future island in the kitchen. And then we will have the mechanical plumbing that will be put in. So there's going to be a drain line that's going to run all the way along this back wall, and this will serve all the bathrooms and the kitchen. So this is the view of the trench that's going in to throw the drain line down that will serve all the wastewater that will come out of the cabin. So today we got our rough-ins complete, and I'm just gonna walk through what we got in today. So this part of the cabin here is where our utility room is gonna be, and where you see the blue PEX, that's where the well line will come in. The well's actually gonna go in right back there where that red flag is. So we're going to have to cut a line and connect it into that blue PEX. We're going to have a tankless water heater, which is going to be heated by gas. It's going to be a condensing unit, so it's going to have to be vented and drained. So you can see the drain there. Also, it's going to have a circulating pump. What this will allow the water to actually recirculate and maintain constant heat. So whenever you turn on a fixture, you'll have instant hot water. On the other side over there, you see a drain. This is going to be a drain for a hot tub, which is going to go there in the corner. Right here is going to be a master bathroom, and we have both the sink rough in there. There's the toilet, and there's going to be a walk-in shower where you see that black box. So I'm going to walk back over here. This is where the kitchen is, and right there is the kitchen sink. And on the other side, we're going to have an island that's going to have a electric stove and oven. So what you see there is gray conduit that will run the 240 power. There'll also be some 120 lines that will also be used to power some outlets in that island. We have a floor outlet, so that's that little round box that you see there. Over here, we're going to have a stackable washer and dryer. So there is a drain there in the middle to drain the washer, and then you can see both of the water lines to that. And on the other side is the other bathroom. This is the smaller bathroom. So there's going to be a tub there by that black box, the toilet there in the middle, and the sink right there as well. The drain line comes out on the other side right here. So we're gonna install a clean out right here at the end, and all the wastewater is going to drain down the hill and into the septic tank, which is on the other side. The meter for the cabin is going to go right there on the other side of that conduit. Again, that conduit is there to run power to the floor outlet and the future island, which will power an electrical stove. The next step is we're going to spray this for termites, and we're going to cover it, put some rebar down, and pour the slab. So that would complete the rough-in and phase of the foundation. So this morning we're going to be pouring the slab, and what you see here is all the prep work that has been done to prepare that. What we got here is we have the forms that were set along the edges, the vapor barrier, which is the black mat that was placed over the gravel, and the wire mesh. With this pour, we're looking at an approximately 5-inch slab, and once this is all leveled out, we will have a complete foundation. So as I mentioned, we're building this cabin out of ICF, and ICF stands for insulating concrete forms. And what these are hollow form blocks which are stacked and kind of built similar to like a Lego building. They all come together in pieces, and they are reinforced with steel rebar and then filled with concrete. So this is the view of the rear of the cabin, and you can see the back ICF walls are built right on top of that 6-foot foundation stem wall. And this backside is really designed to take advantage of the mountain views that we have out there. It has a passive solar design, which will allow us to take advantage of the sun's energy to heat and cool the space. So in the winter time when the sun's low, those windows will actually get heated, and when it's a little higher, it won't hit the space as much. Also, the windows will be low E window, so they're going to be very energy efficient, and there's also going to be
special glazing. This backside will also have a deck along the back, and it will extend out about 8 feet.
So what we got here is the finished stack for the ICF for the construction of my small cabin. And this material really stands above and beyond any material for strength and energy efficiency. With the 2.5-inch foam on each side and the 6-inch core of reinforced concrete, this material provides an R value of R40, which is very good as far as energy efficiency. And using this material, I will generally accomplish at least 50% energy savings in heating and cooling. As well, this material is going to stand the test of time. Again, it's built with reinforced concrete, so it's going to stand up against natural disasters, high winds, fires. It won't have any cavities, so we won't have problems with termites or mold. So the material is an amazing material for constructing something that's strong and energy efficient, as well as something that will stand the test of time. So this is the entrance of the cabin, and I'm just going to go inside and give a tour of what will be the interior spaces. So I'm standing at where the entrance to the cabin is, and as we walk in, we will have a very large window that will be able to see out and have tremendous views of the mountains and all the trees. This will be the great room, and as we walk in here, there'll be a living area right around where that foam is. There'll be a wall with a TV and a electric fireplace. The kitchen will be against this wall, and as we go back on the other side, that is the master bedroom and master bathroom along this wall over here. And on the opposite side is the other bedroom. We will have a washer and dryer there, a small bathroom there, and in the corner there's going to be a small utility room that will be used for storage, and we will have the electrical panel in there. So it is December here in North Georgia. It's really beautiful here at the site. You can see the trees have shed their leaves, and you can kind of get an idea of the view from the site. And about a week ago, we got the concrete poured within the ICF walls. So all the exterior walls are complete. So this morning we're putting in the drain line to the septic tank. So what we have there is a 4-inch pipe, and the clean out there is what's vertical. and this is going to come around, go down the hill about 40 feet or so, and then connect into the septic tank right there. So my contractor's digging through the piles of dirt that you see here, and we're just cleaning out all the debris that's within these dirt piles. When they excavated the site, we removed quite a bit of trees. So there's several stumps and roots and other sticks and stones and everything else that we don't want when we go to backfill that area within the side of the foundation. So ultimately the goal is to get as much of that organic material out of the dirt. So when we go to backfill, everything's pretty clean. So right now we're clearing up a path to run the drain field, which will connect into the septic tank. We're looking at approximately 120 feet of line that will run, and it's going to switch back twice. So we'll run 2 straight paths that will be below the septic tank there, and hopefully we won't have to remove too many trees as we dig this, but as we move along, we'll see. I think we'll have to take out a couple pines, but again, 120 feet of line we will run along this path. So this morning we dug the trench to create the leach field for our septic system, and the trench is about 24 inches deep, and we put in some leaching chambers, and we have 120 feet lined up through this trench. This will be connected to the septic tank, which is kind of at the midpoint of this line. This is the tank that we got here, and see in there, there's the filter and the line that will run down to the leach field. So we've scheduled our inspection, and if everything is good, we'll be burying this later today. So yesterday the health department passed our inspection for our septic system, and we were able to grade over the top of the drain field, and you can kind of see everything's been put back in place, and you see that line, the opening there where there's some clearing. That's where our septic field is. So that concludes everything as far as the installation of this septic system. I wanted to get a profile shot here of the side of the cabin, and you can see where the window openings are. 3 of those will be slider doors that will come out on what will be a deck that will extend out. As part of the grading work that we're going to have done, I'm going to have several footers dug, and we will frame out the deck 8 feet out and up to the height of that slab. So this morning they dug a trench to lay some forms for footers for the posts of our future deck. And this deck is going to be 64 by 8 feet, and it's going to run along both sides of the cabin, so you'll be able to walk around the whole perimeter or backside of the cabin. So these will be poured, and we're going to also pour the piers, which are going to go up approximately 6 feet up or near the height of where that slab is on the cabin. And at that point it will be framed, and we'll install the decking material from there. So I'm standing downslope from the cabin, And what we're looking at is the finished pour for the piers, which will support the deck. And this deck is a wraparound deck, as I mentioned. So you can see there's a footer up top there where there'll be an entrance along the side. And this will span approximately 64 feet along the back side and around the other side. These piers come out about 8 feet from the stem wall foundation, and we've really built them to be pretty robust. We're looking at 12 by 12 piers, and they stand about 8 feet. These things are not going anywhere anytime soon. They are overbuilt, but that's for good reason. We want this to stand the test of time. And I'm gonna just go ahead and walk here. You can see the trench that was dug. And again, our footers are about 2 feet to 3 feet down. And there's 11 piers. So you can see this is a pretty long deck. And here I'm coming along the other side. And there's the other footer that will be the other side of the deck. And again, this is gonna look out to these awesome views that we have. So this morning we're backfilling the area of the deck piers. And what we're doing is we're probably adding about 2 or 3 feet of fill to get the grade up to the level of the footer, which is on the side of the stem wall. And we will be cleaning up all the grading along the edge here.
I have to put it on the backside. There it is, right in the dang way.
So I'm just gonna walk in here and kind of show you what we got so far. This is the driveway as we're entering the cabin. And you can see that 2x6 that extends out. That's just the start of what will be the eave that will go out 3 feet from the back side. And coming along the driveway entrance. And we're gonna go inside to give you an idea of what the roof will look like, at least the height. So we're looking at 12.5 feet maybe of total ceiling height at the highest, which is along there. You can see how these windows really open up to the views. Of course, this will be enclosed with interior walls once you get that framing in. I'm walking out here. This will be a large window, and we'll have 3 sliders that walk out to this deck. And you can kind of see how that will be. It'll be a wraparound deck. leveling the side of the cabin here, and we're putting gravel down for what will be the fire pit. And these big boulders are going to be moved around, and they'll act as a perimeter seating area for the fire pit. We were able to finish up all the site work related to the grading in and around the cabin. And this is really exciting because we really now have a good feel for the space in and around the cabin. So I'm going to go ahead and walk into the site. So you can see how wide the driveway is. We have approximately 15 feet or so along here, and then it gets wider into a area that we created for parking. And we have about 2 parking spaces there on the eastern side of the cabin. And when we did the site work, there was quite a bit of land disturbance activity. So we've had some hay bales brought in, and this has been put down on all the steep slopes. There's some seed in that, so in the springtime we'll get some growth, and that'll help control any erosion that might occur. So this is the western side of the cabin there, and this side we are also able to flatten out quite a bit and backfilled against the western side there. We found some boulders when we were excavating the site, and we've used those with our fire pit area. I built a black modern fire pit that will match the cabin. And this area here is mostly gravel. We're gonna do some work on cleaning this up a little bit, but this will be the main gathering space for visitors, and we'll have a lot of activity going on in this area. Here's a good shot of the fire pit that I installed and the boulders that can be used for seating. And down this area here, we created a slope that's wide enough to actually get a vehicle down below the cabin. And if we need to, we can drive four-wheel drive vehicle down there and gather wood and other things to bring up here to the fire pit. So we've backfilled our piers with the dirt that we had around the site, and we brought in quite a bit of material because we went down about 3 feet with the footers. So there's a good 3 feet of fill material up against those piers. And you can see right along the stem wall there to the edge of the piers is a flat area. And once you get past the piers, it becomes more of a slope that you see out there. So we're nearing completion of the deck framing, and where I'm standing is on the west side, which is adjacent to where the hot tub will be and the storage room, as well as the fire pit where I'm standing. This platform here is the wraparound portion of the deck where you can enter and you'll be able to walk around. And I'm just gonna go ahead and give you a shot of how this wraps over. You can see how it turns, and it transitions in a similar fashion on the other side. So again, you'll be able to walk completely around the cabin by entering the deck on either side. So my framers were able to almost complete the eaves on the framing of the cabin, and
right there on the south side, right above the windows, we have an eave that extends out about 3 feet, and this flares upward with the roof pitch. On both other sides of the cabin, which are the east and west ends, there's an 18-inch eave that's been extended out.
Yeah, it's supposed to be 71. I jogged it up because it was freezing this morning. Yes, did you ever extension on a little bit more? Oh, yeah. Yep, stand her up. Oh yeah, it's got the brick mold good on the wall.
This morning we completed the installation of the windows, and this is the north facing side, which is the front of the cabin. And you can see we have 3 windows that were put in. 2 of those smaller ones are for the bathrooms. The long rectangular window there is the kitchen window. And then we have the main entrance, which you see there. It has a frosted glass appearance, and there's 2 side lights on each side of that door. Here's a closer up shot of our entrance, and you can see that modern frosted glass that this entrance has. And I'm just going to go ahead and walk inside and show what this looks like from the interior. We have 3 large slider doors and windows that were installed, and 1 large window without a door that was installed. This area has not been completed as far as the interior framing, but where we're looking over there, that is going to be the master bedroom, and the fenestration will be part of most of the south facing portion of each room. So in the master, you have a 10 by 10 opening. If you include the transom window on the top, the 2 panels on the side, and then the slider doors, which will be 2 panels on the interior. And this is the same size window for the great room. Again, 10 by 10. Over here is a large window that is approximately 7 feet by 10 feet tall. And again, that transom is continued, and it is continued all the way over to the last slider door. This is just a 2-panel slider door. It's a smaller one that will be part of the small bedroom that's found on that side of the cabin. So I'm standing downslope from the cabin, and this is a shot of our new windows that we got installed this morning. Again, the 2 big ones are part of the great room and the master room, which master room is on the left there by that open hot tub area. We have, again, a large window right there, and there'll be a smaller slider door that is part of the smaller bedroom there. It's a beautiful morning here at the site, and this morning we will start the installation of the roof. And to prepare for this installation, the cabin has been sheathed with a zip system, and you can see that the zip board is actually installed on the front wall as well as the roof. And when we install this roof, which is going to be a 16-inch wide black standing seam metal, it's going to transition down from the roof to the front wall. So architecturally, this is going to be a very unique looking modern design. So my roofers have installed an ice and water seal on top of the zip system. And this is just an added layer of protection for water and ice. Now that this is installed, we will be ready to install our metal standing seam roof. So this is day 2 of the roof installation, and we got the front wall complete. And now we are placing the panels on the roof there. These again are 16-inch wide standing seam metal panels. There are 1.5-inch ribs on each of those panels. So the roof is finished and it turned out beautifully. Again, the roof is one of the main architectural features of this home. It's a standing seam metal roof, and it's 16-inch panels between the ribs. And the unique feature is you see the front wall, it transitions down, and there are no eaves. Instead, we've designed drip edges along the transition from the roof down the wall, so the water flows down much like a waterfall, and we will have good drainage from the house once we pour that concrete pad in the front. We've also completed the siding and the paneling of the front entrance. Siding will be painted black, and the entrance, which is going to be a celebrated feature, that's going to have a vibrant yellow color that will really be celebrated when you come in. And I'm gonna get a shot over here. You can see the deck that wraps around. A very modern door with side lights has been painted with a glossy black finish. And over here on this end, we have a relief wall that has siding on it. There'll be an area to store wood. As you can see, the fire pit is right back there. So today we're connecting the permanent power to the cabin, and this is the line that we will eventually drop into this trench here. And you can see the power is up here. There's a transformer up there. So the power is dropped from that pole and it comes down into this trench all the way up to the meter, which you see on the side of the cabin. So we have a hole that's about 30 inches deep, and it's running right up to that meter there. So there's a shot of the meter, and the trench goes under the deck there, and you can see how deep that goes, right through there. So we just dropped the cable line, which will serve the cabin for internet and phone service. And you can see that black cable there in the trench. And now we're going to bury this trench, and everything will be pre-wired for electrical and internet. So we have power connected to the cabin now. This is the meter, which is connected, and the bottom there you see the gray conduit. The larger 2.5 inch feeds the power to the meter, and that 1 inch is for the DSL line, which serves the phone and internet. So this is the power connection from the street here. And wow, they pulled out a boulder that's pretty big there, right out of the trench along this area here along the pole. So here's the finished grade after we buried the lines. So there's probably about 150 feet of trench that was dug to bury this line. And that's the extent of it up there to that power pole there. And up here along the front, there'll be a poured pad. Along here, we'll actually take a sidewalk up to the deck entrance. So this will all be poured. And we've also have been lucky. We've pulled several boulders out of the ground, and we'll be using these as landscape boulders. As we walk down further, we'll be putting gravel down in the fire pit area. In this area here. So the pad is going to come all the way up to the end of the retaining wall. And like the other side, there will be a sidewalk that's going to come up along the edge of that deck entrance. So back here, you can see we got several boulders. We've moved these 2 boulders as well. So again, we've been very lucky with finding these big rocks within the grade as we've been doing site work. So I'm standing outside the entrance of the driveway to the cabin, and you can see we've added some new gravel here along the entrance up to the side wall of the cabin. And this is the final gravel that will serve the driveway as the parking surface. And what we're looking at here is the fire pit area. And this morning we graded the surface down and added some new boulders that we found when we were excavating the site, and we've placed those along the perimeter. And then we've added a gravel that's approximately a 3/4 inch aggregate, and that has been spread throughout. So we have finished all the rough ends for the interior. I'm standing by the entrance, and this is the great room, which is a space that combines the kitchen, living and dining area. This space has all the recessed lights put in, as well as up in the soffit there. So this is where the kitchen is. So that's a kitchen window. We have a space for the placement of an island hood range, which is going to come down above a large island. It's going to sit approximately right here. And right in front of me is the entrance to the master bedroom space. You can see the rough-ins there for a TV there. There is the master closet. There's also an area for storage above that. This is the entrance to the master bathroom. So as we come in, all the plumbing there is for a double vanity. And we will have a walk-in shower there with a bench. And the toilet will be placed in alignment with that window there. Also, there is a little niche there for the placement of any shampoos or soap. And this shower will have a rainfall piece there, and there'll also be a valve for a wall fixture there. On the other side, the living area, we have a wall here that will be used for a flat screen TV, and below there is an insert for an electric fireplace. This is the entrance to the small bedroom, and as we enter that, we pass a little closet area for a stackable washer and dryer. And it's hard to see in this video, but it is a very tall ceiling, so we will have plenty of space above for storage. This is the small bedroom bathroom. You can see there's a tub there with a bench, a little niche there, similar window as the other bathroom, and the toilet will be in alignment with that. The vanity will go there. Back here, we have a utility room. This is a panel for all the interior electrical and the air handler. One thing to note about this cabin is we've designed it with a ducted mini split system. The advantage of this system is you won't have any unsightly air units that will be hung on the walls. All the air is ducted and it runs basically through this soffit and between all those eye joists up there and the vaulted ceiling. And we'll also have really good air circulating throughout the space. It's going to cover every room very, very well. So back in here is the small bedroom. This is also my temporary camping spot as I manage this project. This area will have a triple bunk. There'll be a queen bed on the bottom and two full-size beds up top. We can do this because we have vaulted ceilings. The high point there is about 12.5 feet tall, so there is plenty of ceiling height there to take advantage of the ceiling space. This is the closet to the small bedroom, and there's also a storage space up there. So I'm standing outside on the deck, and we've had all the siding completed, and you can see the rough ends there for the sconces that will hang just outside here. So we got 5 of those on this wall. We also have wiring up in the soffit that will give us some floodlights as well as security cameras. So this is the hot tub area.
And we have our rough-ins there for the lighting and for the connections to the hot tub. So there's wiring for another fixture there. And then in the corner soffit there, we have lighting for a floodlight. And inside here, this is a storage room that's locked off from the rest of the house. We have our tankless water heater there, which is run by gas. We have another panel that is in here, and this is for all the exterior electrical. And up front, we have a storage area for wood, and there are some recessed lights up in there as well. So it's been several months since I've last taken footage of the cabin, but we've wrapped up all the exterior construction, and I'm gonna go ahead and walk into the site and show you all the improvements that we've made to finish this cabin up. The retaining wall and paved driveway there. All the exterior has been painted. You can see the metal that is extended down from the roof to the front wall, which is on the north side there. We have opaque coverings on the bathroom windows. You can see the light, but you can't see into the bathroom. And you can see very attractive modern entrance. We have modern glass that kind of gives it a neat look there. And the trim, which is PVC that's been painted. You can see the front step there is finished concrete, and that has been stained and sealed. You can see we don't have any window blinds, but you can see into the cabin, and you can see the view back there, which I will go around on the other side and show what that looks like. So we are entering the outdoor area. You can see we put some outdoor lights to add a nice setting there. This area is graveled. We have a picnic table, fire pit, some chairs, and you can see the yellow and black, which matches the colors that we have on the cabin there. So the fire pit and the charcoal grill. This is the storage room where we have storage. We have the tankless water heater in there, and we have our security system. We have 3 cameras. There's a camera up there on that corner, a camera up on that corner, and a camera over on the other side there. So this is our hot tub. It is a 5-person hot tub, and kind of see what that looks like there. We have some modern lighting there to light up that area. This is the wraparound deck. Got some patio furniture. Same sconces on the back that we used along the front entrance. There's our patio set. We have cable railings, and this is nice because it doesn't obstruct any of the views, and it also is a very modern, or it has a very modern look. And out there you can see the view of the mountain there that we have.
And very pretty here. When we built this, we had a neighboring lot to the east of us that was a 3-acre wooded lot. And if you go back earlier in the video, you'll see that. Unfortunately, we had a developer purchase this land and clear cut every last tree off the property. And you can see what we've been exposed to. We have a road down below, and there is a self-storage facility there. We've come up with a solution here, and what you see here is a 75-foot long berm, and along the edge of the driveway here, we've built it up about 2.5 feet, and at the top it's about 2 feet wide. So we had the landscape architect here this morning, and this is the plan that we drew up, and I'm facing the direction of the berm, and you can see I'm at the end of the berm, and you can see this plan in relation to the driveway, and it's all lined up with what's existing there. So we have a few dozen trees. These are junipers and cedars and pines, arborvores, which will create a dense buffer along this berm. And we got lucky. We brought in 28 truckloads of dirt. This dirt was all free, and you can see how high it is and the extent of it. And I'm walking down, so I'm on the top of the side along the driveway, and as I go down it, you can see we have drainage there. This is the inlet. We will put a drain cover on that eventually. You can see it's much wider up here at the top. This is probably a 6-foot wide top. So we'll be able to stagger some trees up at the top, as well as along the slopes of each side here. You can see as I walk down how that goes down, and trees will be planted at the end of the berm, which you see my thumb is right here. This is a shot of the plantings that we've completed on the berm, and the goal is to provide a privacy hedge. And what we've done is we've planted approximately 30 trees of various sizes that are both fast and slow growing species. And what's nice is that we've established a lot of screening already with these initial plantings. And some of the trees are 15 to 30 gallon trees, and they stand anywhere from 4 to 6 feet tall. So we do have a lot of density, or we will have a lot of density when the growth will come in. And along the berm, these trees are staggered. So this will be a nice dense hedge as this grows. And I would estimate in probably 2 years, 3 years tops, we'll have screening here where you won't be able to see that unsightly storage facility there. Now, our view, which is out to the south, is completely protected, and this will not change. The mountain back there is all federally protected land, so we will have that forever. And as I walk over here, you can see the extent of the plantings on the top there. I'm standing downslope from the berm, and you can see the extent of the tree plantings along the top. And I'm just gonna walk along the edge here just to give you a shot of what we have as we look up at this. And you can see there's some smaller trees. Those are arborvores. Those are fast growing trees. They'll grow 2 to 3 feet a year. So this will fill in pretty quickly. You can see up there, you can see the cabin, and you can see how that tapers down there. So now with the landscaping complete, this project is officially completed. And this was an extremely challenging build. I faced labor shortages, material shortages, builder mistakes, and sky-high inflation. And the biggest benefit of an owner build is the fact that it's an educational process and you will learn more than you ever imagined. Finally, I wanted to mention that there is another video on my channel that gives an interior tour of this project. So please take a look at that. And I will also be putting out more content related to this project, including a cost breakdown, as well as some other things related to this construction. So please subscribe and stay tuned.